Hello and welcome back to Forgotten Daily. So today we're going to do a little how-to video. This is one of them that I've never done, never thought I would ever do something like this. So we're going to do a how-to. I did one side so I kind of have an idea. Uh, Removing the seat material off the framework of a Chrysler TC by Maserati. Again, it's not something I normally would do. However, the buyer, they just needed the material and they don't need the framework and stuff, and they're on the West Coast from me. So for them, it was easier for me to tear it apart, and they can do whatever they want with it. So with that being said, we're gonna try to do a step-by-step how-to on how to take these apart. I don't know if anybody will care, but we're going to do it anyways. So the first step that you're going to need is your tools. I have a 13/16 socket, and this one is a 18 millimeter socket, a long flat blade screwdriver just to pry with here a little bit, you'll see. Some good cutters for the bull rings to cut those, an Allen wrench, flat Phillips screwdriver, and then I use my electric ratchet just to make it go a little quicker. So anyways, the first thing you're going to do is remove screw here, screw here, screw here, and screw here. That's to remove this plastic trim off, and then I'll show you what's after that. Okay, so I got the trim off. Fortunately, you know, with me, I don't care if it's broke or whatnot because it's going to go in the talon and to junk. But so there's one screw that holds this piece on. Take this screw out here, and that removes. And then this long screw here was in the front hole. This one here was broke, so it wasn't even a screw in it. You can see the back is broke, and then this screw was kind of a bear. It was buried way down in there, and it's still stuck in there. So with that said, bon voyage. Loose can leave. So now the switch that controls the power recline, you have to take the harness off of the back side of the switch to get it to fit through the hole on those trims. So the next thing we're going to do, remove this bolt, and then this bolt is going to have to come out of this Allen. And I believe this bolt. We'll get more detail once we get there. Okay, so you see I got this bolt out. This one here on the driver's side, I had to kind of pry on this to get it to come free. It did struggle with me, but you can see, it's hard to see with one hand, but the seat back is pretty much loose from the framework, from the bracket here. So now what we're going to do is flip the seat around and go to the other side. So this is the other side, and you'll see there's a 13/16 bolt head way down in there. I found it best to just put a socket on there, and you just kind of push this up out of the way and get a socket on it and work it. And then the two halves will separate. You set the one off to the side, and then work on the one at a time. So let's take that bolt out and go from there. Okay, so this bolt is the one that came out of this hole. They do have Loctite on it. Excuse me. So it is a little stiff, but it comes out. So, and then see if I can do this one-handed. You can see the seat, the back and the bottom are apart. It's kind of stuck here. The material is stuck to the metal, so you just got to kind of work that off a little bit. And so then, so the back comes off. You set that over there out of the way, and now we get to work on the bottom. So the next step on the bottom, I'm gonna come back to this side. And you're going to want to pry, I had to anyways, pry here to get this bolt. Actually, let me back up. I'm telling you wrong. Sorry. Take this screw out if you haven't already. And then you will take, excuse me, stupid weather. This all comes out somehow. Figure it out, smart enough. But anyways, you're going to take this out, and that is a 15 millimeter, I believe. So let me work on that, and we'll come back. Okay, so that was actually 18 millimeter. My fault. So that just comes out of there, and then that separates this part from this bracket here. Now you can take your Allen wrench and put it here. I won't be able to do this and film it at the same time, but you got to twist this, unloosen this, but then you got to kind of pry and separate these two here to get it to come out. I don't know if it's designed that way or if it's just because of age. My guess is because of age. So let me do that real quick and we'll come back. Okay, so I finally got that apart. And fought. Unfortunately, my son-in-law's here and he was like, hey, dummy, there's a nut on the back side. So there's a nut back up inside here. It's a 13 millimeter. Once I figured that out, here's the nut. Once I figured that out, it came right apart. So lesson learned. Keep that in mind. So the bottoms are a lot easier than the backs. The bottoms, you've got, this one doesn't even have them. The other side, the other side had hog rings here on one side. This one looks like it all just slips on. So you're going to get those, and then down inside these crevices, you'll see there's more hog rings. You're going to need to take those off. I think it's just this one row. So we'll do that next. Okay, so I got the hog rings loose here. Maybe one or two hidden, I can't see. So I just flipped this up and over here on each side. And you can flip this over and basically pull it apart. It just comes off and you got to kind of work it around these brackets. But it's not too difficult from here on out. And then we'll move to the top, or to the back part. So there's the bottom. Off the framework, ready to ship. You can see they were... Bottoms are a lot easier than the backs. The backs are a lot more detail oriented. So we'll start on that one next. Okay, so now we got the backrest. This one, like I said, is a little more detail oriented. So first step, you're going to want to get this pocket off of here. I learned this. So if you come down here, there's a little flap. It's kind of a pain to get to, especially one-handed. So anyways, a little flap. Then if you look, there's a Phillips head screw. You can't see it because I don't have enough light there. But there's a Phillips head screw. You can just barely make it out. There's one there and one here. So you take those out, and then this pocket will lift and kind of slide. There's a hook here and a hook here that kind of popped up underneath. So we remove those two screws, and then I'll show you that. Okay, so you see the two little screws there. They're both out. So now you just can lift this and slide it down, and the back comes off. And then now you get to go into here, and you're going to cut these hog rings off. There's a long way all the way around this silly thing. And then what I found was you just kind of got to work it across these brackets. Since I'm not putting these back together, the foam that's down here, I ended up tearing it out just to give it more flex and more give. I would assume a shop would have the proper steam or whatever it is to heat this up so it'll stretch a little more. It's cold here. It's chilly in the garage. So to try to save the best I can, that's what I'm going to do. So with that being said, we'll cut the hog rings off. Okay, so we got it this far. I ended up not cutting the foam. I was able to get it to stretch over, which is good. So one of my complaints about these kind of cars, my LeBarons, the same Daytona, is the headrest. And in order to get the headrest out, they're buried up inside of here is a metal tab that locks the headrest bar in place. So that's all fine and dandy unless you need to take the headrest out for whatever reason that would be. So again, back to the fact that this car is not, this film is not being reused. I'm going to tear it out so I have access to it. So if you look, it's here, but on the opposite side, you can get your hand in here. I might be able to reach it actually from here. You just got to pop that little tab up. It's very stiff, and then that whole headrest and everything will slide out. And then this plastic sleeve, which is this piece of trim here, it's a one long sleeve. It also will do the same thing, and it will stay attached to the seat cover itself. So the headrest will slide out with this aluminum bar, and then you'll push that tab again, and then this plastic sleeve will come out and stays with the seat cover. So let me get to that, and then I'll show you what I got left. And voila, the cushion or the cover is off the cushion. So we will do this thing due diligence. Drop it on my foot, and it will go right in to the back of this car. This is the Eagle Talon that's being parted. Getting close to being done with it. I never did a video on that. I should. So with that said, there is the backrest part, and then here's the headrest. And if you look, this is the notch I was telling you they get stuck in that tab. This actually slides in here, and then it will slide all the way down. And this is the trim piece that goes. Actually, it goes through this way, but this is the trim piece that sits on the top of the seat. This one actually came apart. So with that being said, that's how you take the seat cushions and the covers apart on a TC Maserati. If you want to see any other videos, please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you want to see, and we'll see what we can come up with. Thanks, and have a great day.